be too deep. I think I'm dying here, man.
Welcome to the 3B Video Deep Cut Podcast.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes. It was fun.
Aw, yeah, it's that time again for another bi-weekly podcast with your hosts, Rotten Roger DeMarco and...
Evil, and I can speak. I just choose not to.
He's been quiet for a long time. I don't know. Fucking Dr. Sartan, the dollar store Dr. Loomis. Here we are, another 2 weeks down. And now it's time for another timeline branching off of the original Halloween. It's time to begin the David Gordon Green trilogy with Halloween.
Wait, we've done this twice already. We've covered Halloween. Why are we doing it a third time? Why are we doing this again? We've been here already.
We done been doing that, but this is Halloween.
Yeah, we've done Halloween. Then we did another Halloween. Now we're doing Halloween again.
But this isn't Halloween or Halloween. This is Halloween.
Heaven help us if we ever do Black Christmas. It's just Black Christmas, Black Christmas, Black Christmas.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah. So yeah, this is a departure. This is a little different.
Everyone's a departure.
Oh yeah, for sure. They all kind of go off in their own direction. But for the uninitiated, and I suppose for the people who are fans of this movie as well, Evil, you want to give the good folks out there in internet land a brief plot synopsis, and then we'll just get this show started.
All right. This Halloween takes place after the first Halloween. Not that second Halloween that's only 2 Halloweens that Rob Zombie did, but that way back in 1978, 40 years ago, that Halloween. This is your direct sequel to that Halloween, so you can ignore Halloween 2 through every other fucking movie that's ever been made and go straight to this one if you wanted to shortcut that choose your own adventure style. But this is the 40 years in the making. Michael hasn't been saying much, locked up in a psychiatric hospital. They're transporting him on Halloween
Eve
again, and a couple of podcasters, not us,
no,
who somehow have like $5,000 they bribe Laurie with the talk. I'm like, fuck, when do we hit that mark? We got petty cash. We can pay people $5,000 to come and talk on our show.
This interview represents the last of the petty cash.
Lovely meal here. The Sam Adams beer is the last
Chew
of the petty
food.
cash. I'm gonna sip this very quietly.
Yeah, but they got arcade cabinets too, so they're just poor money management.
A very poor money management, but yep, this is 40 years later. Michael breaks out, and it's time for him to wreak havoc on Haddonfield once again. But oh shit, Laurie's been training for 40 years for this comeback, so she's no longer, meek schoolgirl now. She's Sarah Connor, but old.
Yeah. Like Sarah Connor and the new Terminator. Just Sarah Connor, but old.
Yeah, pretty much exactly that. Yeah, so this is the showdown that we've seen before, but in this timeline we've never seen before.
Yeah, this is the showdown we all wanted, but geriatric.
Yeah, we've already. Yes, this is an old person's fight. This is an old person's trilogy we're getting into. There's not going to be any new blood for at least the first 2 movies, really.
Yeah. But I will say this, you and I both, when this movie was announced, we were, I would say, to say hyped might be an understatement, because the first trailer, I remember distinctly you sending it to me like, dude, and me being like, okay, all right, like, here we go, and that whole lead up to being able to see that movie. I can't remember. Did you see this in theaters? Yay. You saw 2018 in theaters, correct?
I think it might have been like one of the last movies I saw in theaters.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, to put that in perspective, you don't go to the theater often. So, like, the level of hype was real. And I saw this movie, I want to say 3 times in the theater. This just, it was nice.
You got an in though. You got your own. You got a guy for that person at your theater, so you can get in a lot easier than I have to still be a regular patron at my place. Although we do have, and where I'm at, I do have a 3-story screen, so it's supposedly one of the biggest screens in the country. So I got a really holy shit visual experience for one.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that might have been the last new movie I've seen in the theater. So that's 19, 20, 21, 22, almost 23 at the time of this recording. So I've not really been in the theater for a new movie in about 5 years.
Goodness. But to be fair, I did get to see it before opening because I have an in at the theater. But every subsequent viewing was paid for because I wanted it to be successful. So I went and watched it with general audiences just to see, are other people liking this as much as I did? And boy, does this movie deliver. I think you and I are probably in the same boat when we say out of the 3 David Gordon Green movies, this one is probably the best. And I think it's because the hype. We were so ready for this to happen. And it delivers. It doesn't promise you something and not give it to you. We get Michael Myers, we get a body count, we get gore, we get suspense. It's very nice.
And this even brought the wife in. She's not really a fan at all of this franchise. Really.
Yeah.
1 and 3 she'll do, but mainly just 3. And I don't even know if 1's really too much on her radar. But even when we got to run into James Jude Courtney, who plays Michael Myers phenomenally well, she told him, you got me back into this series. You did it proper. You did it well. So this was... this worked because it brought her in, and she's this not really a Halloween movie franchise fan at all. And
right,
she was like,
same with my wife.
This was good.
Yeah, this is a solid entry. Of course, just like any movie, the more you watch it, the more you're gonna pick it apart. The more you're gonna be like, well, that doesn't really, does that make sense? Yada yada. Which is it just comes with repeat viewings, but for the most part I think that this is fairly close to the tone of the original, but it is a little bit more hyper violent.
Yeah, I mean, we get, this has a good amount of off-screen kills, but they're not bad off-screen kills. We have the mechanic, that's really off-screen. If you're just not looking, but I was looking, of course. On a 3-story screen, you can't fucking miss it. But him just beating the shit out of this dude off, almost off camera, and then the phenomenal shot where he's just kind of surveying the land of Halloween night. And rummages through that one lady's garage.
Oh, it's so good.
And grabs that hammer, and we get her off-screen hammer time kill. Mm-hmm. So there's some off-screen stuff as well as some on-screen. So it's a balance.
Mm-hmm. I will say this: we had the trailer.
Do you remember the first controversy of the trailer though? The first thing that was picked apart on the trailer? I think even we were talking about.
Refresh my memory.
The teeth.
What about them?
We were debating whether or not that was something that even though he does it, if that's something Michael Myers we thought would do, is in the trailer we get him putting his hand over the stall and dropping the teeth over the bathroom stall, and we're like,
He's scaring them,
he is, but it's man, with that, I still remember that being the first thing debated in the internet world was when that trailer came out. Is would Michael Myers really do that? Would he collect the teeth and then drop them to scare this woman?
Maybe. Well, David Gordon Green said yes, so
Well, I mean,
it's canon.
I mean, it's you can't argue it, but you can like would he do that? Like, well, he did do that, but would he do that?
So yeah, going back to that trailer, we had the trailer, and like I said, you and I were very hyped. And then I think the first like scene, like when they did like it's an exclusive scene before the movie hit theaters, was a bunch of that oneer where he walks through the neighborhood and then grabs the hammer, and then like it didn't let you see what was going to happen after that. But I think you and I can both agree that that's probably the best sequence in the movie. It's really feels like Halloween. Like
It does. On the October vibe scale, this is right up there with the opening of 4.
Yeah, and it's intense because he's there and he's walking around and you don't know what he's going to do, but that whole oneer, it feels very Carpenter. And I think that if we had more sequences like that in this movie, it wouldn't just be like a good movie now. I think it would be like a good movie 40 years from now. And there's one sequence in particular where I got my hopes up really high, and then they just stopped the scene in the middle of the scene. And that's when Allison discovers Oscar impaled on the fence, and we get that super good music cue. And Michael comes after her, and she runs, and she's screaming for, someone open your door, someone help me. And then someone does help her. But in the original Halloween, Laurie runs and has this long oneer. Oh God, can't you hear me? Please help.
Turn the lights off, turn them back off. Trick-or-treated to death tonight.
And no one helps her. And so that adds to this suspense, and she's just being... granted, it's only across the street, essentially, but that sequence feels so long and so scary. And when that sequence happened in 2018, I thought, oh my God, she's gonna run out into the street, be screaming for help, and he's gonna be walking after her, and we're gonna get another oneer. But they cut away because she actually gets help. And I'm just like, oh my God, you were so close. You were so close.
So close. How do you feel then about we have Laurie Strode kind of becoming the Shape a little bit in this movie? Like, we have some shots where she's standing outside of the school, exactly where Michael was standing by a car. We have her falling out of a fucking window, and Michael checks, and she's gone.
She's disappeared.
She's appearing out of the shadows behind him. Like, holy shit, what the hell's going on with this woman?
So I will say, it's very similar to my Halloween H2O thought process. So in the theater, those sequences all got a pop out of me. Oh, yes, fan service, right?
I chuckled, I think. I was like,
yeah, right? You kind of get that's awesome. But on subsequent viewings, it's like, man, that it just gets hokier and hokier.
I don't get that. What I did get off her from Jump Street and still is I really cannot accept the death trap house that she's created. Like, some of the shit's really cool. Like the island in the kitchen that leads to the cellar, that's cool. But a latch you can hit to bring down bars over certain rooms, that's kind of cool too. The gas igniters in every room is terrifying. I had a couple of nights where I couldn't sleep peacefully in my house when we switched to having a gas stove. I can't imagine having a literal gas little valve in every room of the house, so it's purposely set up to ignite and light this whole place up in a heartbeat.
Okay, so going back to the island, okay?
Okay, yes.
In theory, I like that. I like that. It's a hidden room to her fucking arsenal and her food and all this whatnot.
Who doesn't want a hidden room? Everyone wants a hidden room.
Everybody does, right?
Batman's the reason for that. I want a hidden room in my house.
So my issue with it It's not that it's there. I love it. And I think it's intelligent.
Okay.
It's a very cool thing. What I don't like is in the last 20 minutes of the movie, it just feels like we're going up and down those steps for no reason, and it's like, well, eventually, like, there's even shots of Michael like walking around and you can hear the fucking thing closing, you know, like, oh, Laurie's got to go upstairs or whatever, like, quit going in and out, like, you're hidden, he would have never found you, but they just insist, oh, Allison's here, we better open it up, better let her down, now Allison's safe, Laurie better go up and attack Michael. And it's like, fuck, man. He's in your house, and it's a small house. He's going to find you. Like, that's the only part about it that annoys me. I love that it's a fucking cellar of death. Like, I love that. But stop going up and down. Like, you're gonna ruin the, like, it's like a magician doing the same card trick.
Oh,
yeah, the magician
you're
doing
gonna
the same
ruin
card
the motor.
trick.
It's gonna break from excessive use.
No, not ruin the motor, but like you're gonna get caught. Like it, you know, it's like I said, it's a magician doing the same card trick for the same group of people 10 times. Oh, eventually you're gonna be like, well, that's because that deck is filled with aces every other card or whatever. You know, like
having an old parent moment of like, in or out.
Yeah,
quit opening up and slamming that goddamn door. I don't know why that made me think of like if she had like one of those like gremlins, like the that thing that you ride up the steps because you can't walk.
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Like, that's what she's doing to get away. Just sit on that and.
That's when they reboot it in 40 more years.
Right, exactly.
She's 110 years old. Fucking.
I've waited for this night for.
Yeah, done.
Oh, she didn't.
All she would have to do is look outside and see him and have a fucking heart attack. Because
it's that she lives that life of that movie from Brutal Massacre, the retirement home. Is it Retirement Home Massacre where dude just scaring old people and killing them?
Ah, it's fucking glorious.
That's how she goes. She gets scared by that dude from Resurrection. They bring that storyline back of the guy dressed up as Gacy, scares the shit out of her and kills her accidentally. Yeah, that'll go over well. I'm all for that.
Yeah, let's just keep butchering the timeline.
Let's renew it in 5 years. Like everyone's predicting in 5 years we'll get a renewal. And we start with that. We just have old ass Laurie Strode in bed, killed by the dude playing Gacy from Resurrection.
Somehow, some way, Josh Hartnett comes back.
You imagine how much that would piss people off? Like, she technically already died in that movie, and we're gonna bring her back and kill her again. But we'll fuck it up and be like, no, that movie only is accurate as far as the Gacy character, but it'll be in congruent timeline with 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. So Jamie Lloyd will be alive, but dead. But she will have been alive, and Hartnett doesn't exist. In fact, make Josh Hartnett like an orderly
detective.
The orderly that finds her body.
Oh my God! Yeah,
and his name is Officer Zartan.
And fucking Busta Rhymes is there too.
He's the janitor. And like, I knew it.
My God, yeah, it's just. The franchise will continue to go off the rails when they bring it back, no doubt.
Just go full tilt with it, just like this character Sartan, which we got to get to him. Literally is said in the movie our new Loomis, and thankfully he's not our new Loomis. He's just a dude who's obsessed with Michael Myers, but. More
for all the wrong reasons.
Well, not that Loomis was in it for the right reasons, but at least he didn't take it to the point of like killing himself. To be like, is this what it's like? Is this why he's quiet? And maybe he'll speak if I kill. Especially like him wearing the mask.
Yeah, it's real bad. I don't like that.
He looks like the little kid wearing the mask in the second Halloween reboot.
I'm not a big Sartan fan.
I don't know anyone that is. I don't know anyone that's like, yeah, Sartan. I'm with him.
I only like one part with Sartan, and that's
when he gets head stomped in.
Well, I like that too. So his death is cool, but when Will Patton shows up with the sheriff or mayor or whatever the guy with the cowboy hat is,
that dude,
the most useless character in the new trilogy. But there's a line of dialogue, like they're like, "You sit down," or something to Sartain, and he goes, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I was sitting down. I don't know why, but that fucking makes me laugh every time. Like, you stay there. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I was sitting down. I don't. It's just a stupid little throwaway line. It gets me every time.
Some people can wear a cowboy hat, and it just works. This dude, and I can't remember. I just know he's the guy from. He's one of the frat guys from Road Trip. You do not pull off a cowboy hat at all.
The most useless sheriff of all time.
He looks like he should have like a junior deputy badge with that hat on. He looks stupid. Like really stupid. Like my mom got me this hat.
He shouldn't be like driving a Dodge Ram and team up with Chuck Norris.
And he insists on wearing it through every movie. Even when we get to the third movie in this series, I was like, man, it's been the whole movie. We've not seen that guy. Shit, there he is with that fucking cowboy hat.
That's not how we do things. Tonight it is. Whatever. We'll get to that.
I don't even know what he said. I'm just like, hat.
So, but, speaking of other characters in this movie, I think, we do have a new little fresh crop of teenagers, albeit not nearly as likable as ones from, the original Halloween. But I will say this, and I'm going to go ahead and give my Brown Panty Award out to Vicky, the babysitter, who is Allison's best friend in Halloween 2018. Absolutely the most likable character in this movie, completely underutilized and snuffed out way too soon.
But
so
she's got the Alakazam.
Yep. Magic tricks.
I know you're talking about weed, right? I know you're talking about weed.
Right.
Yeah.
Clip my nasty ass toenails.
That kid, her, Will Patton. There's some awesome characters in this movie, and there's some I'm not a big fan of, the boyfriend. Was not really a fan of him, and man, does he get the shit kicked out of him in the next movie.
Oh yeah,
good lord.
Here's the good thing about this being a trilogy, is some of these characters get written to have arcs. Some. Others,
not everyone.
Not so much. Yeah. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, as far as a Brown Panty Award, Evil, where are you standing?
The kid on the fence.
Oscar.
Yeah, my Brown Panty would go to Oscar with his stuck on that fence, chin through the, or fence through the chin, under the chin and out the mouth thing. Which when he came on the screen, I thought, I was like, he smooches the boyfriend. I was like, gay character, I think.
No, just super comfortable with his best friend.
Yeah, and then he's like, he makes a move in the house, and I was just as surprised as anyone. I'm like, dude, I thought he was gay. Oh, okay. Sure, all right.
Drew Sheed for life. He is a very likable character in this movie. Likable
character, and goes a long way with advancing that. When he was another one of the cast of this we got to meet. Very all about meeting you and making you feel cool and important, and you were the reason he's there kind of guy. So you know what, I felt bad for your character. I feel worse now, but in the best way possible.
And then they really do, again, I mean, he's dead, but there is some some more to his character in Halloween Kills, which is nice, and it even kind of trickles over to Halloween Ends.
It does, which is weird.
You get this kind of lasting results of his death, and it's
a stain.
It's impactful. So that's a very good Brown Panty Award.
I was surprised that he didn't get it for you. I thought for sure he was going to get it. I
absolutely love Vicky, though, man.
I was trying to think of a standby, and I didn't have a standby. I was like, we might share the Brown Panty this week.
The only other person who I would give the Brown Panty Award to is Julian, the kid that's getting babysat.
Yeah,
but he doesn't die.
No,
so
he's the smartest character in maybe the Halloween franchise.
yeah.
Send Dave up.
You're going to get killed, Dave. I love Jabril. He's a great kid, and when I met him, also when we met Drew, I had Jabril sign my poster. You fucking kidding me? And
which is weird. This is kind of weird to give a child money for their signature.
Oh, it was cool. It was real cool.
Like we had the chance to meet the kid for to meet Carl from The Walking Dead, like in the second season, maybe the third season, before he even started growing his fucking hair out. And I wasn't really super into the show yet, and I was like, I feel weird going up and trying to give a kid money for his autograph.
Yeah,
but I did it for
strange thing.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is. It's like it's weird. Be like 3 times his age, and like, you were cool in that movie. Here's $20. Can you sign this for me?
Yeah, his parents were really cool. So with Jabril, I kind of asked. I said, "Is it okay if he signs this?" Well. I think they're from the same place my brother-in-law is from, Ghana, Africa. So, like, English is like their second language. So, Jabril was like, "I don't even know what that means. Like, what am I writing?" And his dad was like, "He'll do it. It's fine, but like, he'll do it in English." And I'm like, "That's fine." So, yeah.
Can we get some of your movie posters from there? Because they're fucking awesome.
They are fire. Also, I want to address the elephant in the room. I know I think I talked about it 2 weeks ago, maybe when we just kind of roughly brought up this movie. But Will Patton, who you and I can both agree is one of the best actors ever, which I totally forgot he was in Fled. I threw on Fled the other day, and I'm like, oh, fuck, there he is, and he's super important.
I forgot he was in Fled, but I haven't seen Fled in a long time. Love the movie, but I don't, he's never not fantastic in whatever he does.
But the elephant in the room is, dude, he's dead in this movie. They kill him. Is it disputable? No. Like, he's dead.
No,
he gets stabbed in the neck like 4 times and then run over.
Yeah, but I'm not complaining when we get spoiler to the next movie and he's alive. I'm like, oh, thank God.
No, it's fine that he's alive, but you go, bullshit. Like, when I saw him in Halloween Kills, I went, no, wrong, false.
No.
Same thing with, spoiler alert, for a couple more weeks down the road, when the lady who gets stabbed in the neck with the fucking light
fluorescent
bulb
light
is alive in fucking Halloween Ends.
But at least she's got residual damage from that.
Yeah.
Come on, after the Evil Dead remake, we know how much punishment certain individuals can take and live. So Lou Taylor Pucci set the standard for like taking an ass kicking and keep on ticking.
Yep, the pooch method. But
pooch may lie, the pooch may steal, the pooch may damn near be near death, but the pooch will never die.
The pooch never dies. But Will Patton is awesome in this movie, and we get a pretty cool character arc into the next film. Not so much Halloween Ends for me, but
so how do you feel? How do you feel about the other character that I thought might almost have gotten your Brown Panty Award, but the Judy Greer's husband?
Oh yeah, he's awesome. I like him, and I know that the internet hates the "I got peanut butter on my penis" line, but it's a funny line. Grow up. Have some fun, or don't grow up. Enjoy being a kid. It's a funny line. Plus the fact that he's like, I can take care of my own family. I know jujitsu, which all hail anyone.
No new jujitsu.
Anyone who trains jujitsu. When that line was said, we all popped. We're like, fucking hey, I'd fuck me up some Michael Myers. Well, not unless he sneaks up behind you and chokes you with a fucking cowbell chain thing.
When he says he's trained in jiu-jitsu, he just rented Bloodsport a couple of times.
Nobody in Bloodsport fights with jiu-jitsu. If one person fought with jiu-jitsu in Bloodsport, Frank Dukes would have lost in 5 seconds. But
I don't know. We've seen all those. Remember all those stats at the end of that movie? Those are all 100% accurate.
They're truly
stats.
accurate, yeah.
Frank Dukes is the man.
If you want to know how jiu-jitsu would do in Bloodsport, just watch the very first UFC and watch Hoist Gracie destroy every single person who thinks they know how to fight. That's all that matters.
It doesn't look as impressive though watching it. It's like I just realized after a while, like, oh shit, when he's on his back and someone's on top of him, like, shit, they're fucked. they're so
in big trouble.
Yeah, like it looks like, oh shit, he's on his back. He may not do too well. I was like, nope, that's exactly where yep, there it is. It's over.
He's choking you with your own shirt collar, which is a real move. It's called a collar choke. But But
I do not believe this character has any jujitsu training.
I don't think so either. Good old Ray.
But we do know Judy Greer's character has hidden talents. Because
They're not acting. None of them are acting. I'll tell you that.
Why does everyone dislike Judy Greer?
I don't know why everyone else does, but she's got a punchable face. Her and Parker Posey are two people I wish I could wrap up in cellophane and light on fire. Like,
I saw her this past year. I finally got into It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. She has a occasionally reoccurring character on that show, and she does pretty well. So I was like, oh. I was just totally off put by her Christmas sweater throughout this movie. Which they never explain why she's wearing a Christmas sweater, but I'm just assuming she just is out to bypass the Halloween season altogether every year, hearing her mom go all Loomis-like about it every year. Like, oh, right, he's coming back. Yeah, this is the year. Pure evil. Yeah, killed your three friends. Yeah. I did like that when Oscar's like, that's it? Mm-hmm. Like, that's the tragedy? He killed just a couple of teenagers back in 1978?
Which you and I have had this conversation. I don't know if it was on the podcast or if it was just in person, but
probably both.
Because when we were talking about Halloween H2O, I said I like her character. I like Laurie's character arc in that more than I like the character arc in this one, because I feel like it's a completely irrational response. Although when I'm watching the movie, I really, really like it. But if you step back and you go, well, I don't think that you would react that way. But again, it's an hour and a half. It's fun. Just shut up, eat your popcorn, have a good time. So,
react in which way? Just the military preparation for her?
All of that, yeah, all of that, and like
shooting dummies in the backyard.
I mean, I guess you would practice your marksmanship if you had a firearm in any capacity, let alone enough guns to necessitate an entire rack. But
what am I going to do with a gun rack?
So, it's cool. It's cool, and I don't have a problem with it. I just prefer the other character arc more. But I want to bring up two characters in this movie who we haven't talked about, who we gotta give some love to. But go ahead.
Before the two characters, I will go, since we were on Judy Greer, I will give her, since you were not a fan of her acting, I'll give the props, because she got me when she has her line where she's freaking out and she's like, got you. That was good. I like that.
Which becomes a reoccurring theme in this trilogy. She does the gotcha line a couple of times, and then Michael Myers gets to do his own gotcha, which is awesome.
Gotcha!
I got him. But the two characters who we have not discussed, who I think you and I both probably have some sort of an affinity for, and who, if we were in a movie and together, like we were already in a movie together, but I think these two characters could be us, and it's the two police officers. They're done right this time, as opposed to Halloween 5's two cops. These cops seem like they've worked together for a long time. They have a relationship. They are buddies.
Put that part 5 score in with these two cops and see if your opinion changes. Yeah.
No.
There's like a duck sound, like
yeah,
slide whistles and shit.
You don't need slide whistles in a Halloween score, I'll tell you that. They don't belong. But these two cops, man, they only have a few scenes, really. But they're very likable guys. They are not wasted characters. They feel like they have weight to them, as opposed to, again, Halloween 5, cookie cutter cops. They kind of try to do the same thing. They have a little bit of levity to them, but for whatever reason, the two cops in Halloween 2018 feel like they live in that world. They feel real.
And what's that?
You know what I'm saying?
What's that sandwich that he's eating?
Oh, the banh mi sandwich?
Have you had one of these things?
That's just the bread, right? Like, that's a type of bread. I've never had banh mi bread.
I have
so
no
I would.
I have no idea what it
Delicious chocolatey brownie. I made that myself.
I was like, yeah, little Debbie.
Looks like a lunch a 5-year-old would pack if they packed their own.
That's literally like the starry brownie that's in the little Debbie snack cake.
Oh, yeah.
You took it out of
yeah, cosmic brownie.
Yeah, the cosmic brownie that's slightly melted in the case that he's got it in. Like, you made the... I'd just start doing that shit, bringing in oatmeal cream pies to my job. Be like, would you like these? I made them myself.
If they're not in the cellophane, I'd totally believe it.
Really?
Yeah.
You would believe that shit? I'm doing it now. I'm going to get the double deckers. Like, I spent all weekend making oatmeal cream pies. Handmade.
do that for like a potluck at your job. Just bring in a fucking Tupperware container filled with like 40 oatmeal cream pies.
Custom made, yes. Enjoy them.
Yeah, well, you peel them apart and put like an M&M in the middle of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just take it in and I just press it in the top of it.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, see, I made these. You can tell by the shitty placement of the M&Ms.
Yeah. Mini M&Ms too.
Some of them gray M&Ms.
Oh, don't hit me with the gray M&Ms.
Gray M&Ms at 11 o'clock in the morning. But
son of a
so no,
bitch.
I like those cops, man, and every time they come on screen, I'm like, I wish those cops had more to do, even though what they have to do is good. But I like them so much, I don't want them to be one and done characters. I wish that they would have popped up throughout the movie a little more. Like, you know, I mean, in the previous Halloween films, we got Brackett, we got Meeker,
Yeah,
and he had like, but and then they have their little deputies that pop up and do things. So I just wish these deputies would have done more things.
I don't know what else I'd have them do, but yeah, they make good use of the small amount of time they have to establish themselves and try to make you feel something for when dude gets his head cut off and turned into a human jack-o'-lantern.
That's so good. It's so good. And off screen.
Yeah. I don't know if I need to see Michael like taking the head
Carving.
off. Yeah, pulling all the innards out of the head and then sticking a flashlight up in there and
we save that for Art the Clown.
Like wedging wedging the car so it'll drive.
Yeah. You know, so here's how you do it. I just thought of this.
Oh.
So when Laurie responds to that first call and shoots at the mirror, you know, and then she runs into Will Patton, that's where you insert them. You bring them, you have them show up slightly late, and then you just give them a couple of more lines of dialogue with Frank, with Laurie, and then that's where you kind of establish, okay, you guys go watch Laurie Strode's house.
Yeah, find the kids, which they throw Allison's phone into the pudding or whatever that shit is.
It's dip. This is my least favorite thing about modern movies is let's find a way. You know exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, you have to. It's the first thing everyone goes to. Like, we'll just call for help. Like, we got to eliminate the cell phone. You either got to place it in a time pre-cell phone age, or you got to find a way to kill it. And at the very least, you could always just say, I got no service here. Oh, I've got a T-Mobile phone. No service.
No service.
Is there a metal roof on this place? Well, I ain't getting a signal.
So that's the big issue with me is, and I know we've talked about this when we did either the live stream or I know we've covered this movie in a couple of different ways on the channel.
It's been discussed.
Is that there's no setup for her boyfriend getting upset that she's on her phone. And had there been one other scene, like if they were at dinner and he was talking about like their Halloween costume, and if she was fucking scrolling through Facebook or whatever, and he kind of gave her a look like, can you just put that away? You know what I mean? Like if there was any semblance of, your use of your phone annoys me, it would not be so uncharacteristic for him to just be like, your precious phone in the bean dip or whatever. Like,
I mean, but they do mildly establish he has a kind of drinking problem. Like, he gets kind of belligerent when he's been drinking, even though he's a fucking kid.
Yeah.
That might be somewhere in cut scenes that we never actually got to see. I wouldn't be surprised because, I mean, they do a really cool thing that is continued, and we get the other half of the story in the next movie. Is Allison's dad mentions that her boyfriend, that his dad is Lonnie, that they used to hang out, and that Lonnie used to sell him peyote.
Yeah.
We get to the next movie, we'll hear that that's flipped around, so they're both pointing the finger at each other on who had the drugs and was selling it to the other one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but again, that's
so
another
probably,
one of those...
I feel like that's probably there. We just didn't get to see it. That's somewhere buried in something. If they're doing that kind of detail work on the drug usages of the dads, I'm sure the cell phone thing probably got established a little bit more. But, I mean, come on. Every teenage girl is balls
Glued
deep
to
in
their
their phone, so
all
even
day,
if it
every
is
day.
the first time you see it, you're like, really? Really?
Yeah, I just wish there was just another, and like you said, probably on the cutting room floor somewhere, and I would love to dig for that and find that. Like, this is one of those movies where I feel like
maybe they'll come out in the trilogy set, because they're going to put this out as a trilogy box set when the third one officially hits shelves. I believe at the end of December is when Ends will hit, and I know they'll do a trilogy of all three together type deal.
Yeah.
It's probably there. We'll get it then. That's when we'll finally get it.
What I was going to say is...
Release the green cut.
I think you and I both, like, I know you're not necessarily like a big epic guy. Like, when a movie hits a certain runtime, you're like, man, that could have been trimmed up or whatever. But
Depends.
I think, like, with this movie, the more the merrier. Because, I mean, Halloween Kills kind of overstays its welcome a little bit. It's a little long. It's a little bloated. Halloween Ends, we'll get to that, even further down the road. But, like,
I'd be fine with a
movie,
supercut of the first two movies.
Yeah.
Give me the whole night, like Halloween 1 and 2.
Yeah, and if we did that, if we could reinstate deleted scenes to kind of flesh out these characters even more, that's where I kind of feel like more is acceptable. Especially since we really like this movie. The Halloween 2018 is a very good movie, so I feel like the more stuff you stick in there...
Replace it with that father and son that drive up on the wrecked bus. So, I mean, I know they're establishing them in a hot second before we take both of them out.
Yeah.
But you could probably cut that scene out or trim it down even further and replace it with the phone stuff or something else there. If I had to pick something off the top of my head, be like, where could I trim? Probably there.
So speaking of the escape of Michael Myers, long ago, when I first saw this in theaters,
I remember this.
I had a theory that
did a video
Laurie,
about this.
Yeah, I did. That Laurie was responsible for the bus crash. And I was like, I'm right. I feel it in my bones that I'm right. And I just kept waiting. Halloween Kills, they're going to bring that up. She's the reason. And then they didn't. And then Halloween Ends, they're going to bring that up, that she's responsible, and they never did. I just feel in my bones that she was so, like, she was waiting. There's a scene of her sitting in the car with a gun.
Yeah, she goes there, to watch him get transported, and she just weeps in the car.
Mm-hmm. And so I had this thought that, she somehow, some way, caused this bus to crash, or, shot a tire out or whatever, and was planning on...
Road spikes.
Yeah, and was planning on shooting Michael when he came out, but she was so afraid that she just ran away. And then that's why she shows up to the dinner late and takes a big old drink of alcohol. And
Alky Laurie again.
I just felt like it belonged in there and that it was going to happen, and it never did. So I don't know if I'm alone in that. I know I wasn't sure if I completely had swayed you into thinking that, but now it's all over. Like, you know what I mean? We've had our 3 movies, so there's no debating it anymore. She didn't cause the fucking crash.
I would like to see her Punisher style, is putting C4 plants underneath, like every 4 inches on that bus, like on a roller underneath it, just clink, 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 and she's just sitting in the truck and just flips a switch and blows up in sections like it's a building getting demolished, just blah 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 all the way down the road.
She doesn't know how much longer she can hold this thing.
Yeah, that's what I would have wanted to see if that was going to be the route they were going to take.
Yeah. So there's some things, like I said, that aren't in the movie, and there's some theories that I had that are way off. But I think
It's just a theory.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes this movie so good, is because there is a lot left to the imagination. There's some stuff left up to interpretation. And if this had just been one movie, like, let's say it tanked, and then we didn't get a trilogy, right? It's a pretty good ending. It's a pretty fucking good ending where you're like, well, he just stood there and burned up, but the possibility to bring him back is there.
Yeah, it's ambiguous enough where you get whatever ending you wanted out of it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a very good standalone movie, but I do like what you're saying. If there was a cut of 2018 and Kills together, that it would feel complete. It's kind of like my Halloween 1 and 2 cut.
Yeah,
where it's just seamlessly, like a 4.5 hour epic of awesomeness.
Yeah, you're literally watching the whole night of Halloween in 2018.
Yes. So I know that it exists out there. I know that there's some bootleggers who have done it. Eventually, I will probably pull the trigger on that. It's just money is sparse at the moment for
so you steal it
things
from a bootlegger. That way you've righted the wrong.
Yes.
2 wrongs there will make a right. You're like, yes, he booted it, but I stole it from him, so nobody wins in the end. Except me.
That's right. I'm a criminal. Just know I've bought this movie multiple times. I literally own multiple copies of this movie.
Oh, yeah, I think we gave a digital copy away on one of our live streams back in the day. So
we did a digital copy, and we
gave away a disc away.
Yeah, gave an actual Blu-ray away.
So yeah, we bought it so many times. We're giving this shit away. Purchase copies though.
I do love this movie, man. I'm very happy with the way this movie turned out.
Well, if you're so happy, how about we look at some folks who aren't happy at all about Halloween 2018 coming out? Just pissed off, had to go on the internet, tell us they hate this movie. Fiery passion. It's time for them 1-star reviews.
Hated it.
All right, let's jump in here with Tidwell. Tidwell. I want to say Tidwell, but there's no E, so Tidwell. Tidwell. We'll throw it all together in one word. Tidwell. November 1st, 2020. 1 star. Infidia sequel. Light on atmosphere and scares. Heavy on overt woke agenda.
Wow.
Yeah. This is an inferior sequel to the original film only. The movie pretends the other 7 sequels and 2 reboots didn't happen. It is light on atmosphere and scares. The updated score by John Carpenter, it just isn't that effective here. There are too many shots of Michael Myers during the day and in bright light. Just seems like a bad fan film that somebody talked Jamie Lee Curtis into being in. The biggest problem is the overt woke, in quotes, agenda. This movie quickly establishes itself as a goofy, unrealistic, girl power schlock. Has this guy seen any 80s horror movie?
What?
Literally every single male character in the movie is either corrupt, inept, or what you talking about, Willis? Wow, comic relief. Donald Pleasance's Dr. Loomis is sorely missed and dead. It is so blatant with its woke agenda that it gets really cringy really fast. Avoid this movie and go watch something that respects its core audience. Like Alex Jones or something. I don't know.
Jesus, man. I'm like, what's the woke agenda? Like, Jamie Lee Curtis is the final girl.
He's
like,
pissed there's no intelligent men on the screen, I guess. I was like, wow.
Will Patton.
Yeah, Will Patton does fantastic. He does technically in our thoughts die, but he doesn't. But he kind of does, but doesn't. But, I mean, Jesus, the dude not seen any horror movies throughout the 80s and 90s?
Dudes die.
Yeah.
Especially teenage dudes.
Yeah, because teenage
They're dumb.
dudes are fucking idiots. Bunch of goddamn morons running around. All right, next is Miss Kaylin M. March 6, 2019. 1 star, biggest letdown ever. I was all up in arms to hear Jamie Lee Curtis returning to her Scream Queen roots and then ignoring the Rob Zombie Halloween 2 version of the original. But this was the biggest bore of the night. I wanted Michael to be at his highest of slashing throats and kicking ass. Been having him in asylum since the original. Bore. Show us Michael's face after 30 years. 40 years. Give us gore, not bore.
Oof.
If they do a sequel to this, I hope it's 10 times better because this one was not.
This one was not.
Not. All right.
God damn it.
Next we have Ara LaRose. August 13th, 2020. 1 star. 40-year wait to be disappointed. like Ara LaRose hadn't seen a single Halloween movie since 1978, apparently. Previews for this movie made it look great. Unfortunately, it quickly became predictable and not even scary.
You're not even scary.
What happened to Jamie Lee Curtis? She was a better actor in her first movie. Journalists that go nowhere, African-American sheriff role that goes nowhere, and Michael turned out to be just another unfinished story going to give this DVD away.
Ooh. Don't want it at all.
I have no problem with the sheriff, just wears that fucking cowboy hat.
Stupid ass cowboy hat.
It's a stupid goddamn hat. I should 1 star just that man's hat. I hate that hat.
Oh, that's good.
All right, next we have Josh on July 21st, 2019. 1 star. This is my first 1 star review, but this movie pushed me over the line.
Wow.
He's like, I will never give a 1 star review. Oh, you're forcing me to force my hand. This movie was a waste of time. Seriously, if you enjoy the genre, save 1 hour and 45 minutes of your life on something that will definitely be better than this. Seriously, anything.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, not anything, but... All right, Tony in New York, March 7th, 2019. He says 1 star, boring. Just watch the original, skip it, and skip the other sequels too.
Skip it.
Skip them all. Skip everything.
Just watch part 1.
Sierra Belsan, January 4th, 2020, says 1 star, skips. Nice, but skips. 10 minutes, unfortunately. I can't return it now.
Oh, just, buff it out. Get a little buffing.
Yeah. Katie J. Linderfield. Linderfeld. Correction.
Sound
there.
rich.
Katie J. Linderfeld. August 14th, 2020, 1 star. No more Michael Myers movies. The first one came out in the 70s, and studios have just been ruining Michael Myers ever since. You have to wake up You have to wake up. What? No more Michael Myers movies. The first one came out in the 70s, and studios have just been ruining Michael Myers ever since. You have to wake up. Michael Myers is an iconic villain. Okay, you have to wake up. Michael Myers is an iconic villain. I wasn't reading
Just
that in
a
like
giant
the tone.
run-on
She was,
sentence?
Yeah. Michael Myers is an iconic horror villain, but there have been so many damn movies of this guy that I just don't care. But I just heard, H-E-R-D, heard, that another Michael Myers movie is coming out. So I'm here to stop you from watching it. So like Michael's sister said many times, let him die.
I don't think she said that many times.
I don't think a lot of this is right. And yeah, that's all one sentence. No commas,
Giant.
periods, nothing.
Let him die, period.
Let him die, stop. What the hell, stop. Stop.
Stop.
All right, we have A Culp. September 23rd, 2020. 1 star. Horror fans saying, don't waste your time. This film is rather terrible and an embarrassment to the franchise. Don't waste your time or money on this one.
Goo.
And to wrap up, 1 stars for Halloween 2018. This is from NH, New Hampshire. Neil Hart. I don't know. September 7th, 2019. 1 star. What the heck? What the hell were they thinking? Or Hall. That's technically what he says. He has what the H @LL. I don't know why he's like, what the heck? What the hell? What the boop were they thinking? Laurie Strode has a son in 1998 Halloween H2O, and now she has a daughter and not a son?
Oh, I don't pay attention to timelines.
That completely turned me off to this film, and I certainly hope they do not bother with another one.
Goddamn fucking casuals.
I love what happened to the son? She does not give a shit about his son. This movie's woke. Woke ass trick ass woke.
All this woke bullshit.
I'm barely
has a daughter.
woke.
Oh my god.
So
What happened to her son though?
I don't know. Well, he's gonna end up as an orderly in the next movie. We've set that up.
God damn it. Well, now that we've ranted and rambled about the movie for a long time, we've given out our Brown Panty Awards, and we've done our Amazon 1-star reviews, Evil. What does that mean?
It's time to put on your boots, grab your bottle of water, and tell Lemmy to cue the guitar. It's time to play the game.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game.
It's all about the game and how you play it. I always knew he'd come back in this town. Michael Myers is a myth. He's a boogeyman, a ghost story to scare kids. But this boogeyman is real. An evil came to my home to kill. He killed my friends and now he's back to finish what he started with me. The only person who's ready to stop him is me.
Is me.
And how you play it, and you can take it.
God damn it. Oh my goodness. That's right. It is time to play the game. And if you're new here, welcome. And you're probably scratching your head asking yourself, what is the game? Well, the game is a deep cut in and of itself where you have to pick a prop from the movie that we are covering, but it can't be a well-known prop. So since we're covering Halloween 2018, you can't say you want Michael Myers' mask, you can't say you want his coveralls, and you damn sure can't say you want his butcher knife, because those are all low-hanging fruit. So like Evil loves to say, you gotta go deep, or
Get killed in a bus crash, but by an accidental gunshot wound.
oh, fuck my life. That's right.
There's a bus crash, but this guy has a gunshot wound. I don't understand this.
Shrapnel. That's bus shrapnel.
Bus shrapnel.
Yeah, that's how buses work. My goodness. So yeah, let us know your prop picks on the comments to this, on Patreon, on our YouTube channel, on our Discord, any which way
Email
that you
us.
can possibly find us. Find us and tell us your prop. I'm gonna let you go first this week, Evil.
Alrighty, well, I mentioned it earlier. I'm gonna take those busted ass teeth that he drops on that young podcaster who has $5,000 in their pocket.
Very nice.
Because now I'm just bitter about a podcast that's got that kind of money to throw around. Like, yes, kill them. Kill them.
Hey, man, we got a good whopping $16 in our...
Yep,
ad
just a
revenue.
hair short of the 5 Gs we can spend on a celebrity guest. We're not spending that
Yes.
on to keep the lights on and equipment running at all. That's just petty cash, like we discussed earlier. My beer budget. I can't even get a case of beer. I don't even think I could get a sixer. A good
For
sixer.
$16?
Yeah. I might be able to get one. Tax included, though.
Sad.
I definitely
day.
can't buy Laurie Strode or Jamie Lee Curtis for 3 minutes.
Nope.
We'll see if there's any cameos that have $16 budgets. We'll buy a cameo from somebody and put them on the show.
Oh, Lord. Oh, boy. There are a lot of good props in this movie, man. And it's a very difficult like array of things to choose from.
Oh yeah.
So there's just a lot of really cool things. But I think if I had to pick, like, you know me, I tend to go a lot for the gore stuff. So I think if I had to pick one, I think I would pick the dummy of the boyfriend that's impaled to the wall with a knife through his neck. That's when it shows his tattoo on his arm, 10/31/18, which, what a weird, terrible tattoo to get.
You didn't get the date of the time you lost your virginity tattooed on you?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
No, I did not at all.
We should do that. We should get 10/31/18 tattoos. Just because.
Just because. Maybe.
We got dry
yeah,
fuck that night.
Yeah, I'm gonna dry fuck the shit out of you. Which, sidebar, Vicky, who I absolutely love, is one of the leads in a movie that you and I both recently just watched, Fall. So,
Killer.
yeah, that movie was fucking awesome. And so as soon as I recognized her, I was like, yes. So nice to see her doing other things. But I love that dummy of the boyfriend. And you can only tell it's a dummy when it shows just a little bit of the face, because the teeth never look right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I want that dummy. I'm sure I could fashion it to look like someone else and destroy it on camera.
Okay.
For that way I have a $10,000 movie prop for our next movie.
Yeah, why not? I'll just drop the teeth down underneath the feet when you smash in the head or whatever, so we'll just utilize both props in one shot there.
Yes. Boom.
These bloody ass teeth. Put them in a little clear glass bottle too, so I can just shake it.
Like a baby food bottle?
Yep. Throw them out on the ground once in a while and go, see? It's always the same.
Yes, but it's always different.
There's no stopping what can't be stopped, and evil will not die tonight.
Hey, makes sense, man. That's what we need. We needed Harrigan to fucking head up the police force.
Oh, I thought you were like, we need a King Willie.
No, Michael Myers would fuck King Willie up, dude.
King Willie could wear that cowboy hat, and I would buy it.
He would look like he's in Milli Vanilli if he...
No, he could wear that hat, and I'd be like, yeah, you're fine with it.
Yeah, because you're the king of
Yeah,
narcotics.
he could wear anything. Like, he's just high, man. He's making anything look good. He could be wearing that cowboy hat and a bathrobe and a nightstick, like as a crutch kind of thing, and he'd be like, all right.
Yeah, King Willie does what King Willie wants.
King Willie can make anything look fashionable.
It's true.
I'd have been fine if that dude was just wearing just heart boxer shorts standing over that fire. Like, if that's all he was wearing, I'd be like, yep.
Seems real. Seems right.
That's the Jamaican drug lord king right there. Only a Jamaican drug lord king could wear that.
You guys ought to think about cutting back. Whatever the fuck he says to him.
He really ought to cut down.
Yeah, cut down.
Dude, his contact high just from sitting in that vehicle for that length of time. No wonder he's like, makes sense, man.
I was going to say.
He's probably very highly intelligent and speaking very clearly, but that's just what we're seeing Harrigan's fucking drugged out haze of what he's saying. So you're like, man, he was just throwing bones on a table and shit. He's really like in a suit, like inside of a like nightclub or something. Arrogancy, entirely different setup.
What was in that weed, man?
You just smoked crack.
That's right. I woke up in Debo Pigeon Coop. Son of a bitch.
Car full of angel dust.
Well, now that we're done picking our prop and going through everything else, I suppose we should probably get going, because, after all, there's a lot of movies out there, and somebody's got to watch them. So why not us, right?
He returned to Haddonfield, his home.